emergencies do not knock on the door. They just happen. And the sooner you start, the better, so that you can start putting some money aside for medical bills that you are not prepared for. You can also be able to have a temporary income loss. Maybe something happens and you're suspended from work. You need to be able to have a buffer. But at Bank of Africa, of course, as your financial partner, we want to walk with you this journey so that we can help you and support you through the solution that you have. Then we can plan. At return, only about say the bank of charity and you need to find your goals. So you want to be tired. You want to be someone can afford a holiday in once in a quarter, or you want to be someone can afford a holiday in you start to be much more. You start to be the same thing. But if there is a chance that you start to come to the chance, then they go back to Chago because you're able to so you need to estimate the income. Breaking monthly say every month you also realistic you can be able to get invest in land very high interest rates, and then this now will be able to help you in getting into those big investments. Maybe you are thinking of starting a side hustle. You want to buy a prime mover so that you can be supporting guys to be your trusted financial partner. We have been in Kenya for 18 years. We operate across 10 counties. We have 21 branches. The nearest branch is in Rongai. And as I close, I'll invite the branch manager to say hi. We have another branch in Galleria, and we are also in other parts of this country. So our asset book is almost 48 there is so dealing with hazard. So we have who are here today. What is your next immediate steps? Is you need to start building an emergency fund. That is if you've not started now. As Bank of Africa, we can support you. You need to formalize a retirement plan. If it you need to go and sit down with a financial advisor. Have a plan about your retirement. Whether it is a bank or an insurance company, you need to start doing it today.
Relationship. So for us, we offer the best relationship. You can call us anytime when in need, not like maybe like any other bank where you go and maybe open an account, take a facility. You have no one to send you even statements. You don't have even anyone to call maybe to clarify some issues you have. For us, we are always there to support you. I think this institution is in our partnership. We have an MOU with you. Maybe some of you may not be aware, as he has put it, it has been dormant. But going forward, we are going to activate it, and we are going to support you with all the facilities he has talked about. So, karibu sana at our Nafrom branch. That's where we are located. We are ready to support you. You can even call us here, and we can come and talk to you. Thank you, guys, and have a good afternoon.
So as we close, I want to also acknowledge my other colleagues who are in the room, so they can just stand up. I have Mary Murumbi. You can just wave. So Mary Murumbi is a relationship manager, and she'll be managing the scheme that we have with multimedia. And then we have Zaina Apio, who is a relationship officer at our branch in Galleria. Yeah. So you are welcome to meet and talk with them, and they can be able to support you. So on the lending side, we offer up to 7 million in unsecured loans. So if there is any interest around that area, always reach out to us, and we can be able to see how we can be able to support you, access credit, so that you can start doing your investments mapema as you plan for your retirement. So thank you so much. Thank you.
So thank you. Let's appreciate Bank of Africa team in a better way. So thank you, Bank of Africa, and I'm sure in the opportune time you will have attend where you will now interact with the members more. I want to invite the chair of the pension, CPIA, for the introduction and opening remarks. Thank you, Chair. Welcome.
Thank you, MC. Good afternoon, members. I want to take this opportunity to welcome all of us to our 14th annual general meeting of MMU Pension Scheme. I hope that you'll enjoy this meeting. I also hope that you have read the documents that we sent so that we can be able to participate appropriately. Just to let us know and just to thank you, members, for the opportunity that you gave us to serve in the last financial year. We remain accountable to you people. We want to be transparent, and we want to do all that we can do to make our members enjoy their retirement. As you'll see in the reports that will be presented, our scheme grew actually from a performing fund of 860 million to 1 billion plus in the last financial year. While our non-performing fund, that is basically held with the sponsor, grew also from 1 billion to 1.14. Basically, the growth of the performing fund was due to the rate of return that we got from the approved issue of 12%. It was also as a result of all the remittances being realized in the last financial year. And we also had some remittances for our colleagues that basically retired. So we want to appreciate, we want to thank all of us for the support that we have received. We remain to be accountable to you people, and we want to give you all the best. As we move forward in this coming year, our desire is to be more efficient. We want to improve our operational efficiency. We want to try and reduce our risks. And we just want to make sure that our pension fund grows. So we need your support. And therefore, with those few remarks, I just want to say that this meeting was legally or is legally constituted. And I therefore now want to declare it officially opened. Thank you. Please allow me then to take this opportunity to make some introductions. I want to begin by introducing our board members, and I want to request them to basically stand up and say their names. Then I will also introduce the VC's representative after that, together with our service provider. So could we please begin with the BOT members? Karibuni sana.
Good afternoon, members. My name is Josiah Makich. Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, audience members. My name is Professor Geoffrey. Good afternoon, members.
Good afternoon, Dr. Barbara Ndoki,
Good afternoon, members. Jackson Mutua, trustee.
Thank you, BOT members. Professor Mayaka is not with us, but I think he should be on the way. And Kirunga, they're in another function. Then I want to take this opportunity to introduce our auditors, DK Wambua and Associates. Please say hi to the members.
Good afternoon, members. My name is Dennis Wambua, team leader at
Good afternoon, members. My name is Peter Kamau, working for DK Wambua and Associates.
Thank you. Then we have our service providers, also approved issuer. We want to welcome Kai, please.
Good afternoon, members. My name is George Opio. I work for Kenya Alliance.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Charles Muledi, working for the Kenya Alliance Insurance, Life and Pensions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, service providers. I now want to welcome Professor Ngo, VC's representative, just to say hi for now. Just hi. Hatujambo. Asanteni sana. Then next, members, I think I want to welcome our secretary, basically to read for us the notice of the meeting.
Good afternoon once again. I want to take you through the notice of the meeting, which was shared on 15th of April 2026. In line with RBA rules and regulation, a notice was hereby given that there shall be annual general meeting, AGM of Multimedia University College staff, pension scheme for the year ending 31st December 2025. The meeting shall be held on Thursday, 30th April 2026 at MMU Conference, main campus, Karen, starting from 12:30 to 5:30, and the proposed agenda, introduction and opening remarks, reading of the notice of the annual general meeting, remarks from the Vice Chancellor, reading and taking note of the minutes of the last AGM meeting held on Thursday, 29th May 2025, presentation of trustee report, presentation of scheme administrator report, presentation of financial statement and audit and account for the year 2025, presentation of 2026 MMU pension scheme budget, approval of the auditor, remarks by RBA representative, questions and answers, and lastly, vote of thanks and closure of the meeting. Thank you. Signed by the chair. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Secretary. Members, the next thing that we need to do is basically to adopt the agenda. And I think this was circulated. So could we get a proposer? Proposed by? Philip Kilonzi proposing. Seconded by Jotham Wale. Thank you so much. Next, members, I think we need to look at apologies. Can we receive any apologies, please? Anybody that is having an apology from any of our members? Yes. Joyce Githinji? Recorded. Any other apology? Yes. Rose Mbudia? Thank you. I have one from Dr. Anthony Karanja. Thank you. Any other apology? All right. Having done that, therefore, members, allow me to welcome the VC's representative for her remarks.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As rightfully said, I am a representative of our Vice Chancellor. My name is Professor Dr. Engineer Livingstone Ngo, the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs, Research and Innovation, and a Professor of Power Systems and Automation. Now, my task is very simple: to read the letter or the speech of the Vice Chancellor. Representative of RBA, Board of Trustees, the Pension Scheme Administrator, union officials of WASU and KUSU, pension scheme members, ladies and gentlemen, I take this opportunity to sincerely appreciate all staff of the Multimedia University Pension Scheme for your steady first commitment to unity and continuity of the scheme. I also commend the strong collaboration between the scheme, the Board of Trustees, and the Retirement Benefit Authority, which has ensured stability and continuity in operations. As we are aware, pension scheme administration involves several key stakeholders, namely the trustees, the administrators, the sponsors, the Retirement Benefit Authority, and the members. Each plays a distinct and critical role in ensuring prudent management, sound governance, and the safeguarding of members' benefits amid long-term financial uncertainties. Despite the prevailing challenges, university management remains committed to supporting the scheme. Notably, one, we have continued to facilitate payment of dues to retiring, deferred, and deceased members, ensuring dignity in retirement. Two, trustees have been supported through training opportunities, including provision of leave and transport facilitation. Three, office space has been allocated within the new lecture building to support the scheme operations and secure documentation. The university continues, number 4, continues to remit monthly members' contribution consistently. While the university is currently facing financial constraints and challenges, management remains hopeful and fully committed to settling all outstanding pension areas. Priority will continue to be given to retired, deceased, and deferred members. With the implementation of the new funding model, which is also called student-centered model, and improved revenue streams, management will engage the Board of Trustees to review and to strengthen the pension repayment plan. I therefore urge you all members to remain calm and assure that the university, despite the current financial challenges, is ready and committed to clear all the accrued pension obligations. Thank you.
Thank you, representative of the Vice Chancellor, who is our sponsor and also serves as our fund manager because they have kept our money. But of course, we will ask for it in the opportune time. So we have new members who joined the scheme. Maybe if we have any new members present, you can just stand. New members who joined the scheme this year. All the new members who joined this scheme. Maybe you can just say your name for the sake of members.
My name is Laura Bono.
Thank you. Thank you. and welcome to MMU. I'm sure there are more members, but maybe the rest have not attended the AGM. So at this point in time, I want to invite the secretary of the scheme, who will now be able to guide the next session of minutes of the previous AGM. Welcome, Secretary.
Thank you, MC Trust CPA Mutua. Members, I want to take you through the minutes of the last AGM meeting that was held on 29th May 2025 at MMU Conference Hall. Members present are there, all the BOT members were present. We had 248 members of the scheme who attended, as we have the attached list. In attendance, we are 3 in attendance. That is Ms. Julie Olo from RBA. We are Kenya Alliance Insurance Company that was represented. We are Bayer and Associate, who are auditors for that financial year 2024. We are 26 apologies from the members of the scheme, and which was recorded. Agenda for the meeting: introduction and opening remarks, reading of the notice of the annual general meeting, remarks from the Vice Chancellor, adoption of the agenda, reading and taking note of the minute of the last AGM that was held on 29th May 2025, presentation of the trustee report, presentation of the scheme administrator report, presentation of financial statements and the audited account for the year 2024, presentation of 2025 MMU pension scheme budget, approval of the auditor, remarks by RBA representative. We had question and answers, AOB, and vote of thanks and closure of the meeting. Minute 1, which was introduction and opening remarks. The meeting opened with a word of prayer from Dr. Barbara Thoki, and thereafter the chair welcomed members to the AGM meeting. Minutes 2, reading of the notice of the meeting. The notice and the agenda calling for the meeting were read by the Trust Secretary. The meeting began at 1:30 p.m. The Secretary acknowledged members in attendance and welcomed them for the meeting. Minutes 3, remarks from the Vice Chancellor. Key highlights: the Vice Chancellor was represented was represented by the DVC AAI, Professor Livingston Go. Key highlights: he congratulated the new team in office and wished them all the best as they executed their mandate. Equally, she also thanked the outgoing BOT for good work done over the period of their tenure in office. Thanked all staff of Multimedia University Pension Scheme for remaining steadfast in keeping the scheme united as one family. Need for concerted effort for most stakeholders to steady the operation of the scheme through collaboration with Board of Trustees, the Administrator and Pension, and the RBA. And this, of course, was to ensure that the pension fund management was run efficiently and is well governed. Despite the mounting challenges, the university management and continued to offer support to the pension scheme by ensuring payment of the dues to all retiring members, deferred members, and those deceased. This goes a long way to assist the said members to retire in dignity and with their accrued savings. Facilitation of trustees to attend for trainings by granting them permission to be away from work and allocation of office space for the pension scheme in the new lecture building for purposes of holding trustee meetings and safe custody of their document. 23. Sponsor commitment to remittance of management had been remitting in excess of 10 million per month, being member monthly contribution, and shall continue to offset the members' contribution with the priority given to deceased, retired, and defunct members. Further, with the implementation of the new funding model and improved income generation, the university management and the Board of Trustees will hold consultative meetings to review the payment schedule to improve or redeeming the pending pension funds. The university is fully committed in clearing the standing pending pension bills. Minute 4, adoption of the agenda. The agenda was adopted as proposed by Omondi Osano and seconded by Nilson Ridho. Minute 5, reading and taking note of the minutes of the last AGM meeting that was held on 1st of February 2025. The minutes of the previous meeting held on 1st of February 2025 were read to members by Secretary, BOT and members acknowledged as a true copy as proposed by Robert Matudura and seconded by Karama Rehena. Highlight from the minutes: Trustee did a rules finalization, status and resolution. TDR review was ongoing and it was resolved that the process be finalized soon as possible. That the term for reference for membership in the TDR shall be teaching and unteaching. NSSF Tier 2 contracting out. Currently, the deduction for NSSF Tier 2 were remitted to NSSF. Resolved that the BOT to commence the process of contracting out NSSF Tier 2 deduction to the pension scheme. Ensure the NSSF Tier 2 contracting out is captured in the final TDR that was reviewed. Minute 6. Presentation of the Board of Trustee report. The chairman BOT took members through the Board of Trustee report, and the following were the main highlights: funding level and contribution or remittances. The sponsor remittance contribution for the period 2024, that is from July 2024 to December 2024. However, the funding level of the scheme was still low due to unremitted contribution by sponsor. At the end of the year, the funding level of the scheme was at 46%, while unremitted contribution remained at 54%. This is a threat to the financial suitability of the scheme in meeting its financial obligations for the members. Most of the unremitted contributions were mainly for the period February 2017 to June 2024. On fund investment, the scheme funds are managed by an approved insurer, Kenya Alliance Insurance Company Limited, and a guaranteed investment plan of a minimum return of 7% per year. During the year, the issuer and declared a rate of return of 8% for the financial year ending 31st December 2024. On membership, total scheme members as per that 1st December 2024 was 348. On compliance, the administrator ensured compliance with regulation. NSSF Tier 2 contracting out, they should have been given priority in the financial year 2025. On good governance policies, there was need to refine the amendment and submit to RMBA. That is on policies. Minute 7, presentation of scheme administrator report. Kenya Alliance is the administrator of the MMU staff pension scheme, and the following was noted. The audit for the scheme as 31st December 2024 was finalized on time and filed with RBA by that 1st March 2025. 2024 RBA levy paid on time by 29th April 2025. Upcoming event in 2025 includes planning for pre-retirement, training seminar for the year 2025, and schedule to hold members education sensitization forum for 2025. That the Kenya Alliance is committed to safeguarding the MMU pension fund. The role of the administrator is to educate members of their pension scheme and the structures thereof. That the investment of the scheme depends on the type of the scheme. Segregated and guaranteed scheme, MMU staff scheme is guaranteed. Karibu Prof. That there are two retirement options or retirement benefit, that is annuity and drawdowns. Page 5 of the minutes. Taxation on retirement benefit has been removed, whether early retirement or actual retirement. Additional benefit to the members as per Kenya Alliance presentation. Kenya shillings 100,000 free funeral benefit for members in case of diminish before the retirement date. Hospital cash, referred to as MAUA, for members who have been admitted to hospital at a rate of 2,500 per day for a maximum of 14 days. Wellness training offered by KAI. Free legal services on access of retirement benefit. Discounted insurance services under our general and medical classes. Management of gratuity management and payout under current fund insurance guaranteed rates. So those were additional basically from that presentation. Minute 8, presentation of the scheme statement and audited account for the year ending at 1st December 2024. The auditor took members through the financial statement and audited account for the year ending at 1st December 2024. The new asset available for the benefit at the year ending at 1st December 2024 was 1.899, 172,459, compared, that is 1.8, compared to 1.6, 073,359 for the year 2023 that had been approved by BOT. In the opinion, the financial statement gave a true and fair view of the state of the scheme financial transactions during the year ended at 1st December 2024 and of the disposition as the date of its assets and liabilities, in accordance with the International Financial Reporting Standards and Retirement Benefit Act of 1997 as amended. The audited account for 2024 were adopted as proposed by Patrick Giro and seconded by Jotham Mwale. Minute 9, presentation of 2025 MMU pension scheme budget. BOT chair took the members through the 2025 MMU pension scheme budget, and the following was noted. Contribution receivable was Kenya shillings 123,545,225 million, with the investor income being 65 million, totaling to 188,545,225 million. Benefit payable to leavers being 30 million, resulting to income of 158,545,225 for the year 2024. Project and total fund value as per that 1st December 2025 was to be 2.036,098,525. Members training and development cost was budgeted at 800,000. Pending pension arrears were high and thus needed the BOT to work out ways to address it. Page 6. The following was agreed the BOT to engage the sponsor on the payment of the pension arrears. There is need to ensure members' training is undertaken. The budget was discussed and passed as proposed by Luke Obiri and seconded by Anthony Mwandikwa. Minutes 10, approval of the auditor. It was noted that the current auditors, namely Mbaya and Associate, and serve their maximum period as auditors of the scheme and can be reappointed, and thus there was need to appoint a new auditor for the year 2025. Agreed. BOT to engage and appoint scheme financial auditor for the year 2025 as proposed by Patrick Itavi and seconded by Githua and Andamson. Minute 11, remarks by RBA representative. It was noted that BOT need to ensure that all necessary policies were developed. RMBA and received its copy of the audited account as at December 2024 with which BOT and submitted. There is need to finalize the issue of members' data to ensure accurate capturing of all members' data. There was huge non-remittent pension arrears, and that BOT needed to plan on the ways to work with the sponsor to address the issue of pension arrears. It is important for BOT to ensure continuous remittance of members' pension contribution as per RBA regulation. Minutes 12, question and answers. Question number 1, the BOT was asked to update members on the issue of Jubilee Insurance and the status of members' data and money that are not be remitted to KAI, to Kenya Alliance. Response by BOT, that members' data verification was necessary, and this process was being undertaken by BOT and KAI, and once the verification process was over, the BOT shall engage Jubilee Insurance during the year in order to get all the necessary missing data and thereafter update members' account. The BOT Committee on Finance and Audit shall lead in the process and ensure the issue of Jubilee is closed. The last page, page 7. Second question, further members asked if it was possible to invest in buying and selling of land by the pension scheme. Response by BOT, MMU pension is a guaranteed scheme where it is the fund manager who invests on behalf of the scheme and not segregated, and thus currently can't engage in land buying and selling. The next question, are there guidelines on what happens if the sponsor is not remitting or is... Response by BOT, yes, RBA has established a very clear regulations that guide in cases of non-remittance. The last minute, which is minute 13, AOB, there was need to ensure accountable and have members-oriented pension scheme where membership to the BOT should be restricted to contributory members only, and thus agreed that since the TDR was being reviewed, Members were requested to participate and give their views and suggestions on the same. The pension arrears were high, and thus BOT should be earned on sponsor in regard to pension arrears, payment, and members' remittance. There was need to quicken the process of Tier 2 contracting out to ensure NSSF Tier 2 deductions are remitted to the pension. The last minute vote of thanks, which is minute 14. The vote of thanks was done by Dr. Barbara Dhoki. There being no agenda, the meeting ended at 4:30 p.m. with a word of prayer from Dr. Barbara Dhoki. Sign for circulation by chair and the secretary. Thank you. Those are the minutes. Trustee Mutua.
Thank you, Secretary. Could we give him a clap, please? Let's appreciate him. We want to take any corrections, if any, before we can basically adapt the minutes. Any corrections? No corrections. Then are these the items that we discussed in our last AGM, for those that can remember? Anybody proposing? Anybody proposing the minutes for 2025 AGM? Yes, proposed by Wendo. Thank you. Anybody seconding? Could we get a seconder? For those who are there. Yeah, seconded by Mwale. Thank you. The next item then, members, is basically to take matters arising. And do we have any matters arising? And basically items which are not in the agenda for today's meeting. The floor is open.
We are on matters arising from the previous AGM minutes. Any member?
The item is on Jubilee, about the amount that remained, the 12 million. And it stated that the trustees were working day and night to reconcile and then have the money transferred to the scheme. But as of today, the money is still there. I've looked at the audited account. So please take note, maybe I'll have to raise it later in the question and answer session. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. So I think the reason why that amount is appearing there, I think I can just answer right away, is because we had requested some data from Jubilee so that we have a closure and we sign the discharge. This data was just shared in March, and I also shared the response. So there are some queries that we have made regarding some 3 million which we are still waiting for the answer before we have the closure and the money is transferred once we sign the discharge form. That is the reason why that has not happened. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Concerning commitment to remittance, there's a point concerning Vice Chancellor remarks. From the previous minute, it says, sponsor commitment to remittance of pension dues management has been remitted to excess of 10 million per month, being members' monthly contribution, and shall continue to offset members' contribution with prior given to deceased, retired, and deferred members. And according to our conversation on WhatsApp, we had an issue on remittance. So we were wondering, were they doing upfront or were the arrears, what happened to the previous arrears? And concerning the same, we have some issues concerning members claiming that those who have retired, claiming that they receive their dues 10 months later. So I'm wondering, how do the trustee handle this? Are the members supposed to receive immediately after retirement, or how is it going to be? And then they were following up. Some of the members were saying that a third of them, they were receiving a third from Kai, and then they were following up, and then after 1 month, then they are receiving a 2/3 of concerning the same. So, and also raising the same issue on this, we raised also the issue of being hard on the sponsor concerning the remittance. So we are wondering, were you hard enough? Because we are seeing the same problem repeating itself. Can you clarify on the same?
Thank you. I don't know whether the chair can be able to answer. Or I can answer. I think when you retire, the law requires that you will be given a third in form of cash. Then 2/3 of that pension money is supposed to be either you buy annuities or you buy what we call income drawdown. So once now you retire, there is that information that you're supposed to give to Kenya Alliance. Maybe the company that you'd wish to buy your income drawdown or annuities for the 2/3. So the only thing that you access is a third. So we shared the statements which I shared to the members. That is the cash statement. But we still have an unremitted amount amounting to more than 1 billion with the employer. We have 2 people who have retired this year who have not been able to get the amount, but we have prepared the data for the people retiring in 2026 and 2027 with the total amount of the unremitted amount, and we have also prepared the data for all the members indicating the unremitted amount by the employer. And we have requested for a meeting. The reason why we had not done this before is because we were still waiting for some data from Jubilee so that we can now be able to finalize on that process. But in March, we got that data. We have requested, the chair of the board has requested for a meeting so that we can be able to discuss with the employer on the redeeming plan of the unremitted pension. So, and of course, it is not easy. It is not a very easy thing. It is not only the trustee to be hard on the employer, it is all of us. This is our money. So, of course, the members, the trustees, together with our respective unions, we will follow that money, because it is very unfortunate when you retire and still your employer has your money. So some of the delays that we had experienced is because of the reason people retire, but they don't apply immediately. So we want to make it, by the time when you are retiring, we need to ensure that you forward your claim. But we have had issues of members who had issues with the employer. They had not been officially released. And that is why it caused some of those delays. But the moment you claim, the law requires that within 30 days you are supposed to be paid your dues. So I think now we have the data. We'll now be able to work properly. So by the time when you are retiring, you already have annuity ready, so that we don't have that gap. It's something that we have noted, Emmanuel, and as a trustee, we are working so that when you retire, you just begin getting your annuities or income drawdown immediately when you retire. But of course, there were challenges due to that non-remittance, because the money had not been remitted. So sometimes you have to push the employer to remit so that you can now be able to pay. But now we have shared the data for those retiring in 2026 and 2027 so that the money can be sent early so that we prepare for the retirement. So I think I'm sure I've answered all your concerns. So we know there was a problem, and we are correcting that. Any other matter?
Thank you, Jackson Mutua, our MC. Now I have a few concerns and maybe one or two questions to ask. From page 1, members present, serial number 10, 248 members of the scheme is attached. Now, BOT chair and the BOT, we passed a budget of over 16 million Kenya shillings for you to spend. We gave you authority to spend. I don't think it is too expensive to serialize all members, even if they were to take 4 leaves of paper. So that is very necessary, Mr. Chairman and your team. Still on that page 1, the titling up there appears to give our pension scheme a slightly different name. The meaning may be the same, but the names don't vary. Let us be consistent. On page number 3, I think that has been mentioned, commitment by the sponsor to remit. That has been asked by another member, so I don't want to repeat that. But I want to urge our members that we really need to be a bit hard in pushing for the remittance. The BOT chair is a very charismatic man. In their reporting, they talk of international reporting standards. They talk of a receivable. They don't talk of unremitted. So that shields the sponsor in one way or the other. But the truth of the matter is that over 1.1 billion stands unremitted. Something must be done. Something must be done. On page number 4, minute number 7, 2024 RBA levy paid on time by 29th April 2025. If I'm right, that levy is 3 million as per our budget, if I remember what I saw last year. My question is, do all pension schemes pay the same amount of levy to RBA, or it is proportionate to the size of the fund? The last bullet on that page 4, talking of annuities and drawdowns. I think during our AGMs, I have never seen attempts to explain in details what that means. Even the gentleman from Bank of Africa did not explain that, unless it is usually explained when members are being trained. I thought it was important that we explain. Those terms may be very familiar to people of finance, but not familiar to all of us. Page number 5, members, the 100,000 free funeral benefit. I don't know whether we have examples that we can cite where that amount has been paid to families that are bereaved and for free, not drawn from the pension savings. Page number 6, BOT. This has been the language year in, year out. So you may have to engage a different gear. Of course, not fighting, but a different gear, because it has been the language for all these years. That has been the so far, members have been trained. Maybe that can be reported. Because it says there's need to ensure members' training is undertaken. Then I think then on the last page, this is a correction and a very important correction, where it says on behalf of the scheme are not segregated, and thus currently cannot engage in land buying. It should be cannot. Very key in that statement. If when left like that, it can be abused. If we got a rock BOT, but we have a good BOT. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So thank you, Kitavi. You have raised issues. I think the issue of attendance. Usually, what we have our members sign. So I'm sure that register is there. We usually use the handwritten where members come and sign. So we also acknowledge we have in a blended AGM. We also have members who are online. So even those who are attending online will be able to guide them if maybe they have issues that they would wish to raise. So I think the issue of the name, initially the name that was registered with the RBA was Multimedia University College, but now we have written to RBA for change of name. Now it is a Multimedia University. I'm sure you have raised a lot of issues in terms of annuities and income drawdown. And last year we had a trainee, a pre-retirement trainee. I'm sure these issues, maybe you did not attend, Kitavi, but those issues were elaborated during the last year pre-retirement trainee. But this is a continuous process. If maybe you missed, I'm sure we will be able to organize for the same. We have the chair of Committee of Governance, Dr. Barbara Nthoki, who will be organizing those training for the members. So if maybe there is a training need on those annuities and income drawdown, I'm sure that will be addressed. On the issue of remittance, I'm sure that we will be able to handle. We have requested for a meeting. And since now you are also part of the union, we are sure you will also share with us the skills that we can get that 1 billion. So it is our hope and wish this money is supposed to be where it is supposed to be with our fund managers, not with the employer. But we are making all efforts to ensure that is done. And thank you for the corrections. I'm sure they have been captured by the secretary. Any other person?
Good afternoon, members. Yeah, my question, the first question goes to Kai, where they have said in the additional benefits, they offer free legal services on access of retirement benefits. Maybe they can expand on that so that we can know which kind of legal services we can access. My second question is about Jubilee. When I was a member of BOT, we had that issue of 11 million, which was still outstanding from Jubilee. And if you see the accounts of 2019, they had indicated that that 11 million, they did not have a list of who the beneficiaries of that 11 million was. My question is, have they now given the list of the beneficiaries? I know most of that 11 million belongs to the people who are earlier, the KCCT group, whose money was in Stanbic, and then it was transferred to Jubilee. My question is, have they given the list of who the beneficiaries are?
Thank you. I have a list of all the members. That 12 million, we have an Excel sheet showing this money belongs to each member. So Jubilee has been able to share that, and I'm sure those who have retired will be able to get their share. Those who are already in the scheme that money will be transferred to their account in Kenya Alliance once we sign the discharge sheet. So I think Kai can answer the other question on free legal something.
Thank you, Trustee Jackson. So on the matter of the legal services, the free legal services, we offer it on two fronts. The first front is the services that we offer to the scheme generally. I'm sure the trustees will mention at one point that when there are, say, review of documents, a review of documents, of legal documents, or even the trainings that we do to the members of the scheme that require some legal input, we will always invite a legal representative to sit and offer the services. That is at the scheme level. Then at the member level, maybe having challenges, for example, when they are accessing their retirement benefits. We have mentioned here, for example, that there are certain amounts that are still with, say, Jubilee. They are not with the employer, neither are they with KAI. If you need certain legal advice on what to do in order to obtain your funds, we can offer that. We have a legal department so that any challenge of whatever nature can be addressed through the legal department in liaison with us as the administrators. So that is basically what it means. But it is legal services to the scheme and not to the individual member. So for the individual member, it's a bit limited, but to the scheme, yes, it's a broad spectrum of the services that we offer. Thank you.
I think those members who are online, you can just raise the matter, you type on the page where you are raising the matter so that we can be able to follow up.
Thank you. Good afternoon, members. On page 4, the trustees, under the compliance section, the trustees mentioned about the NSSF Tier 2 being contracted out. And it was specifically mentioned that it should be given priority. So my ask is, has this been done or is it in progress? And now that NSSF performed very well in the last financial year and was giving almost 17% interest, do we still want to do this if we haven't done it? And by contracting it out, did we mean that we are going to give this to KAI or to any other contractor? Because I'm thinking that if we put all our eggs in one basket, that again becomes a very big risk. So I hope to be answered on those questions surrounding that point. Thank you.
Any other matter?
Good afternoon, members. First is to thank BOT for properly organizing this occasion and conducting the affairs of the scheme in a very transparent manner. Number two, I think we have been having a problem of training of our members. I think the culture has been that when someone is about to retire or remaining with only 1 year or some few months, then we prioritize that employee for training. And I think that is a very bad culture, because why would you train somebody who cannot access a loan to develop themselves and wajipange kwa retirement? So I think going forward, beginning this year, I would propose that we start planning our members for retirement. At least when you're 50, at least at 50 you can access your retirement. You can retire and then you can be paid your retirement benefits. So can we prioritize members at least earlier so that at least mtu akienda ambiwa ajipange, aende dairy, afanye kuku, afanye nini, at least they have a lifeline. They can come and take some facility and develop themselves before they retire. So I think in the next budget, we beseech our BOT to consider training our members more purposefully rather than waiting when they are retiring that they are taken for training. Thank you.
Sorry. I'd raised an hand, but there is this fund investment on page 4. It seems Sky, because there was a cap of minimum return of 7% per year, it seems Sky has decided they will just continue rotating on this 8%. We cannot give you a business of 1 billion and every year you are just, because there is a cap, you continue giving us 8%. Kai, please do better for us, because this is an investment and the people need good returns for their money.
Good afternoon. If you check on page 4 and 5, it touches on good governance policies. That is on page 4. And it says there was need to refine the amendments and submit to RBA. And on page 5, BOTs to ensure that all necessary policies were developed. How far is that?
Thank you. I think the chair will be able to respond.
Thank you, members. As we close on those matters arising, allow me to respond to Caris that we did all the processes to do with NSSF Tier 2 contracting out. That we did. We reviewed our TDR last year, you remember? And then we began the processes. This year, the documents were signed by the sponsor and the trustees. They were all sent to the regulator for approval. Unfortunately, as you can see in our Q1 report, we have an issue with contracting out Tier 2 because of unremitted contributions. So they have asked us to come up with a remedial plan before that can be considered. And I think Trustee Jackson has mentioned that we are planning to meet the sponsor to come up with a plan. It's a command actually. RBA has commanded us, the BOT, to sit with the sponsor to come up with a remedial plan. So the process is on hold. Then when it comes to training of members by SG Gilbert, I think it is true. Trustee Barbara will say something about training probably later on. 8% was for 2024. For 2025, when we present our reports, Moindi, you will see that we have, they have actually given us 12%, if you have gone through that report. Okay? The other question, Eric, was on policies. Yes. Last year basically was to do with TDR review and all those other things. We have actually begun on policy review this year, and we hope that we can be able to complete the process. Our desire is that we'll have a special general meeting this year. According to our activity plan, it's scheduled for August, so that we can come and approve all our policies. So between now and August, it's basically about policy formulation and reviews. Thank you.
Any other matter? So thank you, members, for all those matters. I'm sure the secretary has captured them as point of action. So we have said those who are attending the AGM virtually, you can just raise that matter, indicate the page, and then as we progress, we'll be able to get them and we will be able to give them to the chair to respond. So members, as we get the matters arising from those who are attending the meeting virtually, allow me now to invite the chair of the board to give a trustee report, And by the time when he finishes, we'll now be able to capture all the matters for the members who are attending the meeting virtually, so you will also be able to address them. Thank you.
Thank you, Spear Butua. I don't know whether we can project what the board achieved. Basically, to save on time, I want to mention that during the last financial year that ended on 31st December 2025, the board achieved the following. One, we had a board induction to the new board members. The second thing that we achieved was the trustee development training program, which is a requirement that all new trustees be trained and be licensed to operate as trustees. The other achievement that we had last year was the operationalization of our pensions office. That was done. Contribution remittances, allow me to report that all our remittances for 2025 was submitted to the issuer. So we are glad for that. We did an audit of 2024 and 2025 accounts. We also had an AGM for 2025. Member pension statements was also done with corrections and amendments that was done by our subcommittee on FRAC. Members training, I think this was asked by Member Kitavi. I want to repeat that we did a members training, and all those things that you mentioned were basically covered, or else we'll continue to cover them. Then payments to scheme leavers was done. We had members that retired that were paid. The sponsor remitted their principal contributions, and we did pay them. The other achievement was basically review of contract of our service providers. We are all aware that our approved issuer, KAI's contract ended in July last year, and through the board's wisdom, we extended their contract by 2 more years. So that contract is now coming to an end in July 2027, that is next year. Then we also revised our TDR. This was approved in a special general meeting last year, you remember, TDR 2025. And basically what came out in that document was that we are to introduce or capture NSF Tier 2 contracting out, and that was done. I think we also included additionally voluntary contributions and also post-medical retirement fund. Now, appointment of schemes auditors. Last year, we appointed DK Wambua and Associates as our auditors, so they did carry out the audit of 2025 accounts. The other thing is that we also had a BOT training. This was done last year. On membership, I think you can see that. If you just move down, I don't want to spend time on that, but just allow me to point on schemes performance. As I noted in our opening remarks, we can all see that our scheme actually grew from 1.8 billion last year to 2.2 billion from 2024, 1.8 billion to 2.2 in by the end of 2025. And as we noted, our performing fund also moved from 860 million to 1.04 billion, 1.06 rather. The sponsors' contribution actually grew because of interest on unremitted funds. We had about 1030 last year, but and when we closed 2025, that figure moved to 1140 million. But overall, there's been good improvement in our performing fund, which I think grew by over 20%. We can see that in the report. The next page basically gives you a summary of some basic statistics, financial statistics of what happened, how we began, how we ended, where our funds are being held. The approved issuer is actually holding 48%. 0.5% of our funds are still being held by Jubilee, and then 51.5% is being held by the sponsor in form of unremitted funds. And we have all the schedules and the tables, which I think we all looked at. So basically that is what we achieved. But just to let us know that our scheme has grown. It has grown. Overall, I think the scheme grew by about over 300 million. So we think that is a good growth. Thank you.
Sorry about that. I'd like to thank the MMU University and also the pension scheme for allowing us to serve you as our pensions administrator. So we are grateful for that opportunity indeed to serve you. I must say that this is one of the schemes through which has even enabled us as individuals to grow in terms of the way the interactions that we have been having together with the BOT. It's a very active scheme, and I must say that you have a very competent leadership as far as matters Board of Trustees is concerned. So mine is very brief. As administrators, in fact, most of the information that we are required to present during an AGM has well been presented or elaborated by your BOT, and I must say they are doing a good job. So, but very briefly, we usually give the general scheme information as far as the scheme is concerned. So in terms of RBA and registration, RBA and KRA registration status of the scheme is that yes, the scheme is registered by both KRA, RBA and KRA for tax exemption purposes, although now we know they have various tax benefits that have been announced. So the fund type of the scheme in terms of the scheme specification is that the design is, it is a defined contribution scheme. Defined contribution simply means that you know what you are contributing at the outset. You know the percentage that you are contributing, and you know what the employer is contributing, as opposed to defined benefit, which is something that we can talk about maybe in a training session. The fund type is it's a pension fund, and remember there are two types of funds in retirement benefits. We have a provident fund and we have a pension fund. So yours is a pension fund. In terms of investment or the investment mode is that it is a guaranteed fund, and we have two types. It should either be guaranteed or segregated, but your scheme is guaranteed fund. In terms of contribution rates, 10% employee, 20% employer. In terms of the vesting scale, it is immediate. For those that may not understand what vesting scale is all about, initially or in earlier years, for one to have his or her employer's contributions becoming yours, you had to be in the scheme for a period of maybe 5 years. It went down to 3 years, went down to 1 year. It meant that if you were in the scheme and you left before 5 years, then what the employer has contributed on your behalf does not belong to you. It reverts to the scheme. But that has changed over time until now that the vesting period is actually, there's no vesting period. It is immediate. So whatever the employer contributes on your behalf, it becomes yours immediately. So that's what it means by the vesting scale. In terms of membership, we were at the start of 2024, we were at 348. All this information is in the financials, but just for the purposes of my presentation, we were at 348 at the beginning of the year. That is 2025, or rather 2025. And then at the end of the year, we were at 328. That is active members. In terms of deferred members, we were at 92, and then the total of both the deferred and the active, we are at 420. In terms of compliance, as far as contributions are concerned, we received contributions from Q1 to Q4 of 2025, and it is a requirement by the Retirement Benefits Authority that we file the returns, and we did so for every quarter as far as contributions from this scheme is concerned. The audit of the scheme for the year that is 2025, we managed to file the same as at 31st of March 2026. However, we did that at the guaranteed rate, but then after our declaration, we are going to do a refiling of the same, which is acceptable at the declared rate of 12%. In terms of NSSF contracting out, I think this is information that's already out on what is happening. We were able, together with the trustees, we were mandated to do the applications or file the applications with the RBA. And so as per what the chairman has said, there are things that ought to be done for the process to proceed. The same case with governance policies review. This is in progress by the BOT. And then the scheme AGM for 2024 was held in May of 2025. Most of the information that follows here is most suitable in a training environment. So I may not go through everything that I've indicated in my presentation. However, it is available, and members are able to see what we have indicated there. But in terms, just very briefly, retirement benefit schemes are arrangements, that are governed by law and which are entitled, and which members are entitled to benefits in line with the structure and existing regulations. So retirement benefits schemes have several objectives. Among them, for those of us that are new, provision of financial security to retirees, to alleviate old age poverty, which is a very hot case or issue, old age poverty. Retirement benefit schemes, their purpose is to be able to alleviate that. And there are many other things that we ought to do as we make contributions into the scheme. Yeah, so old age poverty needs to be very well managed. And you can do that through your pension scheme. Maybe the most important thing I would like just to bring out again as I conclude on my report. But remember, there is very good information in our report which can be accessed by members. There is this subject of income replacement, and I think that is what the gentleman from CBA was trying to allude. Income replacement. Remember, as you work, a time comes and you retire. So what happens after that? What happens to your income stream after that? So it's very important that we make sure that the income that we will be getting after retirement is an income that will enable us to live well in our retirement life. Because remember, retirement life can be long. You can live longer during your retirement life than during the years that you have worked. There is something that is referred to as the income replacement ratio, and it is usually expressed as a percentage of pre-retirement income, known as the replacement ratio. Now, globally, the recommended rate is between 70 to 80% of pre-retirement income. In other words, the annuity that you will buy or the income drawdown that you will buy should be able to give you at least 70 to 80% of what you have been earning. So that means if you're earning 100,000, by the time you are retiring, then your annuity should be able to give you how much? 70,000. Okay, so that's what it means. But the sad news is that according to RBA, the income replacement ratio in Kenya is very low. So you are earning 100,000, and by the time you are retiring, the annuity gives you 40,000 shillings or 30,000 shillings. So that becomes a contribution to the old age misery that we ought to take care of now. Okay, so I wish to end there as far as the administration report is concerned. On the investment report, again, all this is information that is in there in the financials, but I would simply want to reiterate that we received all the contributions, monthly contributions for the year 2025. We received all the contributions. So that means it is a very plus as for your sponsor. So contributions from January to December were received by us. However, the December contribution came to us in January of 2026. The fund value that we as Kenya Alliance, in terms of the cash, is the over 1 billion, which the chair has already reiterated. So I will not go into the industry report. Maybe my colleague George can just briefly talk about that, the economic outlook for that particular year. Okay, I'm being directed that we skip this because the information is with you. You can be able to read it. However, just to mention, the funds, pension funds under management in Kenya were at 2.8 trillion. That's according to RBA report. So I wish to end there, and thank you very much. God bless you.
So I want us we do it in a better way. 2026, so where we have 2, you clap twice. Where there is 0, you don't clap. Where there is 6, you clap 6 times. So let's begin. 2, 2, and 6. So thank you. I want to invite our scheme auditors. But before I do that, we have a few issues raised by the members in terms of matters arising who are online. We have a question from Ogutu Ravi in terms of pension statement. So if there is any member who has not received the statement, I will be able to share that. And we have 2 types of statement. What we shared is a statement based on cash. There is now the statement based on the real fund value. And the difference between the fund value and the cash statement is the amount that has not been remitted by the employer. So what we shared was the cash statement, that is the money with the Kenya Alliance. We will also share that other statement which is indicating your total fund value as at this month. So that will be done if you have not received your pension statement. There was also a question from Patrick Mokodi in terms of the discounted services from Kenya Alliance. I think Kenya Alliance, you can be able to prepare a document, and then we can be able to share that with the members on the services which you have said they are discounted to our members. And then finally, we have a question from a matter arising from Jennifer Impala in terms of payment of deceased minors. So we have 2 cases remaining. But I'm sure that will be concluded before the end of May. So the minors of the 2 families, the late Dr. Nixon Agusioma and Wasiaya, will be finalized latest by May. Thank you. So I want to invite our scheme auditors, CPA Wambua and CPA Kamau, who will now be able to guide the next session. Thank you. So let's appreciate them as they make presentation.
Thank you. Through the chair, allow me to invite, can we all stand for a minute or less? Just 1 minute, let's have a health break, just stretch a bit. I'll not take more than 5 minutes to do the presentation. Once you have done with the stretching, you may have your seats. Like it was mentioned, my name is Peter Kamau, and I'll take you through the audited financial statements. This is a lengthy document, and I do not intend to go through all of it since you have it. I want to take you through 2 pages, which are the most important pages in this document. Once you receive it, page number 15 and page number 16. Those are the 2 key document, 2 pages that you need to look at. What do they tell you? Where the fund started, where it is, and what has happened during the year. Now, page number 15, statement of changes in net assets available for benefits. The contributions received in 2025, 165,514,480. The previous year, it was 123 million. The benefits paid in 2025 was 67 million. The previous year, it was 12 million. Allow me not to read the other small figures. If you have them, you can see them there. So that gives a net increase of 98 million. The previous year, it was 111 million. The interest earned on deposits is 226,910,893. If you go to note number 6, you see where that amount is coming from. 3 different sources: what is held by the sponsor, what is held by Jubilee, and what is held by the Kenyan Alliance. The total is 226,910,000, giving a net return on investment of 226,910,893. Administration expenses, 9.9 million. And then we have taxation. That taxation there relates to the fund that is unregistered. The fund that is unregistered earns or attracts tax at 30%. That is the figure that is there. 3.5 million. The total expenditure comes to 13.4 million, giving a net return on investment of 213 million in the current year. The previous year, it was 105 million. The increase in net assets in the current year is 311 million. The previous year, it was 216 million. If you add that to what the assets were at the beginning of the year, 1.899, 172,458, you get net assets available for benefits for the year ended that 1st December 2025, 2,211,014,308. The previous year it was 1,899,172,458. The next page, which is page number 16, it basically tells you where your money is invested. The investment is in Deposit Administration Fund, 1,061,356,200 in the current year. Previous year it was 860 million. Then we have assets which were donated to the scheme. We have considered that and taken that as part of your assets, 1 million, giving a total investment of 1,062,356. The previous year it was 860. We have contributions receivable. Those are contributions which have not been limited to the issuer, Kenyan Alliance, being held by the sponsor. 689 million at the end of the year, 708 million the previous year. You can see there is some movement. The interest receivable from the sponsor, the previous year it was 321, current year is 442 because of the interest earned during the year. Then what was receivable from Jubilee, risen from 11.5 to 12.9 because of the interest. And then we have a tax recoverable. We have payables of 2.5 million. We have tax payable of 3.4. There's an adjustment there because there was a slight overpayment in the previous year. And then we have the donated assets, giving total current liabilities 6,911,428. If you had the net current assets and liabilities, 1,148,355,109. The net assets available for benefits, 2,210,711,309. Represented by members' balances, 2,211,014,308, as opposed to 1,899,172,458 the previous year. All these figures are supported by the notes. If you go to any of the notes, you'll be able to get the figures. Those are the two most important pages for you. Allow me to invite my colleague, Mr. Wambua, to lead the audit report.
Thank you. You can clap for Peter. Thank you, Peter, and thank you, everybody. Good afternoon once again. As I did say my name is Pierre Dennis Wambua. I am the engagement partner for this audit, and again, leading the team at DK Wambua and Associates. Once again, I want to appreciate you through the BOT that you gave us the opportunity to partner and give this service. So having been given what we have been able to certify or go through by way of audit review, and after review, then ensuring that the same is being done by way of returning through the office of your administrators and the regulator RBA, I am again here to confirm that the same is identified by way of our audit, and we were able to confirm, as Peter has given you, the financial statements, which indeed are supposed to be read in an AGM like today. My concern will only be a few paragraphs, or actually just two, and probably paraphrase the others in our audit report, and that is the report of the independent auditors to the trustees and the members of this scheme. And this is on page number 12, where I will read. So allow me to paraphrase it because it's in 3 or so pages. As you are aware, as independent auditors, we come at the end of the period or liaise during the period of the year. The best thing is that, the issue with us is we were engaged towards the close of the year, but albeit we were able to have the team and also start off the engagement together with the team at Kenyan Alliance even before the year ended. And when the year ended, then we were able to come in with due respect to planning, what we call entries, and up to the point of exit, and also meeting the trustees who were able to make sure that we are in together and are able to agree and produce the same, because it is what we call a duty of teamwork, or the three, and then now yourselves. So in our report, if I will look at that part, it is the part which where we are talking about our responsibilities as guided again by standard and law, and that one I would not do much, and again a requirement that we also communicate to yourselves, and we have done that one. Your report is what we call unmodified for the purposes of it, because we all know where matters are, but we have done what we call an embassy key audit matter as regards the matters that are known to yourselves, and that is the matter monies that are with your two entities, and that is the matter with the money with your employer or sponsor, and then the Jubilee perspective. And in that regard, I will now clear. The other part is their responsibility as BOT, and then we come in to come and ensure that we have a basis, and the basis is our review guided by both standard and law, and out of that, and also practice, of course, and with that we are able to give you this report. In our report, we are saying, having audited the accompanying financial statements as read to you or presented to you by Mr. Kamau of the Mount Media University of Kenya Staff Pension Scheme, which have been stated as comprising the statement of net assets available for benefits as at 31st December 2025. Your financial period runs from January 1st to the end of the year, calendar 31st December, and the other statements that we have referenced there are changes in net assets, and that you have been given, as well as cash flows that again you have been given through the presentation that has been done prior to this one that I am doing by Mr. Kamau. And that includes the notes that he has told you where they are, and they are noted either number 1 or even 12, whatever you'll be able to see the details for such. Therefore, in our opinion, esteemed members of this pension scheme, we are in confirmation that, in our opinion, the accompanying financial statements give what we call fair, or give what we call a true and fair view. In other words, present fairly the funds of the scheme in terms of net assets available for benefits, as we have shown, of Multimedia University of Kenya Staff Pension Scheme as at the end of the year 31st December 2025, the year that we have audited. And also to confirm that the changes in net assets available for benefits and cash flows were also well stated for the year then ended. And this is in accordance with the international reporting standards as required when we are taking the measure of checking. I stop at there and wish you well, and God bless you as a pension, even as we continue to partner. Thank you so much. Over to you.
So let's appreciate our scheme auditors, external auditors. So this is the first time they are doing an audit for our scheme. They were appointed through a competitive process where we shared all the tender document to all the auditors registered RBA, and then there was evaluation, and they emerged successful. So they will be our auditors. So they are doing it for the first time, and we appreciate them in a big way. At this point in time, I want to invite the chair of the scheme, who will be able to guide. Of course, I know members, you have questions, but based on the program, we have questions and answers. So if you have any questions regarding the financial statement, we will have that session, or any other report that has been presented either by the chairman or presented by the scheme administrators and fund managers. So we will have that session that will be guided later on by Trustee Robert Otieno. So I want to invite the chairman, who will guide us through the next session of the scheme budget, and also yes, Daktari. There?
You know, you're putting the question on the last thing, isn't it? Some of us have an issue. Why don't you let us discuss what you have before? I remember last time CPA, the chair, when guys were raising issues about the budget, he said, Tutadu, you want us approve or not approve? Currently, as it stands, and let me mention an item here which is like the group life. It's a good thing. Members are hearing of this in the budget for now. Mutua here said 16 million. We have seen BOT training. We are seeing campus development and all those kind of. We are bringing this thing on the last so that people just brush on it and go away. I believe that it's better we stop, ask questions about the audit report, because I've seen something like development, tax of 30% and all those kind of things. Otherwise, I believe we'll be like.
So thank you, Daktari, for that concern. Maybe if we with your approval, members, we can then be able to adjust the program slightly. So after the presentation, you can be able to ask the questions. So maybe you can get questions relating to the audited financial statement for the year 2025 and any other report that has been presented prior, the scheme administrator's report, and also the chairman's report. Then from there now we will be able to proceed to the budget, if you allow, with your permission, members. So those members who have questions, then we can do that. I think Trustee Robert will be able to guide that session.
Okay, thank you, everyone. I also thank members for calling me before my time. but it is my duty to take questions, so we'll take questions about the audited financial reports. And we can start by Daktari, who had raised the issue.
Okay, thank you. My PF is 2605. Open to bit of not. Kim. Town. Amzo NSSF Tier 2. What didn't mention was the group life. It's appearing in there yet. Number two, take I've said that now not once, twice. In the budget is going to be and again trained twice. I know, Prof, but that is how it appears, and it is kind of thing. Number two, the math, not in fact, how do you recover? You need management. Is silent. Like some people are chasing and then hides the hyena. The warriors are back and defers you. We have this capacity. I mean, we have us. The economic issue. Actually, bonds or whatever was at 18%. So brace yourself that actually in the next financial year they will leave minimum guarantee 7. Now, from the chair's report, your term I believe is end March. I know you, James Ali. But I'm sure that was admin's term. This
Thank you very much, Daktari. I think your questions, what I've listed are 5 questions. So it is like you have asked question on behalf of maybe 2 or 3 members. So can we have another member just give a question? Daktari has handled questions for some of you. So any other question? Okay, member, you can ask. We can hear you.
In the SLA with Kakai, they had indicated that they will be funding our AGMs. They will be sponsoring our AGMs. Now, what went wrong? That now you spent 975, and you plan to spend 1.5. And we have been meeting here for other AGMs, like the SACO AGMs, and they buy sodas the way you have put here, and maybe biscuits. But to them, they spend less than 200,000. What is this 975,000? Spend on. And number two, which is not related to the accounts, but I would have. Last time we proposed that the term of the POTs, it was either to be 3 years, although you had proposed it 5 years. But you told us now, during the AGM, we shall pass a resolution, whether it will be 3 years or 5 years. I have not seen that resolution today. Thank you.
Members, I think the budget has not been presented. That is what the chair was supposed to present, but I'm sure he will be able to respond. So maybe we can get one, then chair can respond.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to ask a question. And my question goes to the auditors. I am aware that the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya issued a circular that all audited financial statements starting 1st September 2025 shall bear the unique identification number. Maybe you could tell us if that has changed or why the audited financial statements do not have that unique identification number. Thank you.
So, members, I think we have taken all the questions so far. They are ranging to 8. So I wish we close unless there is a very important or urgent question that can be added. Only one. Okay? Okay.
Thank you, Arakio. Now, my question is, or my concern, and I have nothing against our auditors. Is it in order for the auditors to have been given work? They may have been appointed, fine, but before approval, supposing we disapprove this meeting, what happens? Thank you. I'm not saying we are going to disapprove, but that is a possibility. What happens? Then secondly, to the administrator, you did not touch the bit that I had asked about the additional benefit of 100,000 payable to a family that has lost a member of this scheme, whether it is a reality. That is what I had asked. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, Chair, I'll ask that you assist in the answering of the questions.
Just the first one is about?
The first one is about the report that we talked about.
Yes. Now let me begin by addressing that. Professor Mayaka was not trained last year. He had been trained before. Thank you. He only trained once.
The next question was on how to recover areas from sponsor. If it is necessary for, also another one on top of that, if it is necessary for a member of management to be in the board, on what value is added.
The issue of areas members, I think we all know the history. Sorry? Unfortunately, I think as trustees, we don't appoint sponsors nominated members. Huh? So I think it is the prerogative of the sponsor to nominate people into the board. So maybe if there is an issue, that could be, let the sponsor know that, isn't it? Daktari, could we please keep that for now? Let's move on to something else.
The next question was
Yeah.
on the interest. We were told that in the report there was no projection in the investment report, and yet Treasury bond is 18%. We were given 12. So the question was, we need to change it to another figure.
For now, I don't think we have any control on what the approved issuer gives us, except that the approved issuer has to give us a minimum of 7%. For those who signed the contract, I was not there, but it's a guaranteed fund where you are given a minimum of 7%. Last year we were given 8%, last year but one rather, then last year we were given 12%. Now, whether the treasury bonds were going for 18% and other people earned 20% somewhere, for our scheme, I think we just have to take what the approved issuer gives us.
Another one was about the administrative term ending in July.
Yes.
And how the matters can be handled for the new fund money.
We are basically planning to start this process 1 year too. We all know that next year is an election year. So by July this year, we'll begin to start the process of, trying to see how do we move from July next year. So we'll begin the process of evaluating the current people. Then towards the end of the year, we'll float the tenders.
Maybe if I may just add something on top of what you've said. If I understood you, you are concerned that our term is ending in March and the administrator's term is ending in July. Ours is ending in March 2028. So in July, the administrator's term is ending in July 2027. So by the time our term is ending, we'll at least have sorted the issue. I don't think there is a clash in terms of the timelines.
We have just been in office for 1 year, Daktari. We were elected last year in February. So we have just done 1 year. We are left with 2 more years. Thank you.
So the next question was on taxation by RBA on unremitted funds being 1.1 billion, which the questioner said that it is unfair.
Unfortunately, we have no control over that. The Act basically spells out that we have to pay taxes on all our funds, whether performing or non-performing. So even the money that is being held by the sponsor, we are paying taxes on that money, unfortunately.
There was also a question from our colleague, Mr. Pupu, on the 975,000 being spent, and then the budget indicated 1.5 million. He wanted a clarity that what is wrong where 975 is being spent yet in the SLA, and Kai promised to foot the bill for the AGM.
Kai only pays for the drinks that you can see in front of us. But when it comes to organization like documentations like what you have, when it comes to the lunch allowances that we give you, and even the allowances for the BOT, they are taken care of by the scheme. I remember last year we had 2 AGMs. We had got a normal AGM, and then we had got a special general meeting. And that is where the money went there. So I think basically it was due to the allowances we gave ourselves. Last year we all said that all the members be paid the 1,000 shillings, which I remember was over 350,000 plus, because we paid all the members. And then we had the documentations, and then we had also the 5,000 that we paid the BOT members. So, and then we also had a special general meeting. Just in case, I think we are allowed to interrogate. You can visit us and then you can see the records. Members are allowed basically to come and see, look at our finances and question us there. Thank you.
The next question is question number 7. members were told that the same would be discussed and passed.
Now, when we reviewed our TDR last year, and we were basically advised, all pension schemes were now required to have in their TDRs a maximum of 5 years, isn't it? And when we reviewed ours, we put that in the TDR. But for us, we were appointed for 3 years, and I think we have all agreed that we'll serve for 3 years. So when we come to 2028 March, you will give a new team another mandate under the 5-year term.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Daktari and CPA. Dr. Afuso, at least we have interacted at the forum because he was part of our regulatory team, and probably the people who can fast that we should have this. I want to confirm to you members that this booklet is not my booklet. It only bears part of the report. So the booklet was done by the office through the chair, and we are not disowning it, but the report as the UDIN or the QR that as that, only that was not included when this was being printed, and chair, you can confirm, but the report as it was signed, just like you have seen, on 26th, if you are ordering the report, and you can follow that. I know he knows, Daktari knows that because we have interacted quite in his endeavor there. So the report, please be assured that it received a UDIN or what we call unique identification document number, number 2850112, and 28500, because that is the number. Then the other one is just the date that you signed it, and it was signed by myself. Thank you. Just to confirm.
Thank you very much, our auditor. We are going to question the last two questions from my friend, Mr. Kitav. The ninth question is about, is it in order for auditors to have been given work before approval? Then the question went on to say that this meeting disapproves. What happens? So, Chair, that one I think is heavy for me.
Now, members, I think as you can recall, you mandated us to appoint auditors, if you can recall, because they were not ready then. Yeah, we didn't have auditors, so we requested you to allow us to appoint auditors, and we did exactly that. Thank you, Kitavi.
So members, you now understand that we first asked before we went to, and it is you who gave us the key to go and do. So the next question that was supposed to go to Kai says that the report did not touch the bit asked about additional benefits of 100,000 shillings that is payable to family that has lost a loved one. So that one maybe Kai can answer. Okay.
I think maybe even CPM Toa can answer that. Yes, they did that. Last year we lost Victor, and that is the only person that we lost, and they did pay the money, 100,000 shillings. Thank you.
I think also, even those who were hospitalized, they benefited. So if a member has been admitted and he has not enjoyed and he has records, we don't have any claim pending for that benefit. Thank you. Yes. So last year we had 4. They benefited based on that hospitalization fund. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, I was almost forgetting. Our TDR allows for online participation, virtual participation. And I've been reminded to collect questions also from our members who are online. 1 or 2 questions. Okay, you can, they can unmute. Then they ask. Those who are technical in that area, you can assist us so that we, the online guys are saying. Oh, and if there is any question that has been delivered by text from the chat, our technical team can also read for us so that we can capture the question and give the answers. And if there is no question, we can be told also. Thank you, Daktari, for the question. And Daktari, also thank you for appreciating, you called me last time after you received the statement, and you actually appreciated our work. Thank you for that appreciation. You can
Thank you, Daktari. We have heard your question. When we are developing policy, that member booklet is one of the documents that will be shared by members. We have already done it. We are now moving to the next stage of stakeholders engagement. So once it is done, members will be able to have that booklet shared. And thank you for that.
Thank you very much. And I believe all of us members who are here, you also received your statement via group-wise email. There is a question that I've received from our online colleagues, and the question states like this: BOT, kindly commit a month that you will train all members on retirement matters before this year ends. With a promise of a month, we can hold each other accountable. Specific date can follow. Thank you. That is a question from online.
Allow me to respond to that question. Online, or rather training, is a very important tenet for our members, and we have a very comprehensive plan for training members. I'll just give you a brief on how it is. We have what we call the all scheme member training. So all members of the scheme are going to have one annual face-to-face training, and this is going to be held in this venue. And for this year, we are going to have it in July 2026. So all these matters that are being raised concerning annuities and what have you are going to be addressed there. And then we have another group that we are going to train. We are calling them the special group. Those are the members that have 7 to 10 years to exit, because there are some special things we need to be discussing with them. And this is going to be held once per year, and that is slotted for August 2026. For the finalists, majority have already been trained. However, we have a plan of training those that have 2 to 3 years to exit, depending on the quorum. If there are few, then we can have them in cohorts. And this is the premier training that we normally have them retreat in a place outside the university, probably Machakos, Naivasha, or elsewhere. And that will be done once a year. Other than that, we have slotted quarterly online training for our members. And this is going to be done. We'll have one in August and another one in November. So we really want to empower our members in several areas. So most of you have been telling us concerning this, but now kindly just know that we have you in mind, and we'll also be sharing a lot of free training materials and links that are found online. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There is a concern from one of our online members, Professor is saying that the mic is not connected to the platform. Our technical people can handle that. Then there is a question to Mary Mugo that says that can Kai justify how they came up with the percentage and why give minimum and slightly higher? That is question from Dr. Mary Mugo.
Thank you. So once again, Kai declared 12% and not 8%. The 8% was for the previous year, and that is what is included in the minutes that were being approved today. So this year, we've declared 12% for the year 2025. Now, when you look at the investment markets, yes, there are times when treasury bills and treasury bonds can have rates that are higher than 12%. However, the guaranteed fund where your fund is, cannot all be invested in one investment vehicle. The RBA law allows us to spread it in various vehicles so that we do not concentrate that risk. And it is for that reason that even if the treasury bills or bonds were so high in rates, then your fund cannot give you that rate, because we have to spread it between the higher yielding vehicles and the more secure vehicles. So there is a cap that we usually work with, and that is in law, that the maximum that we can put in treasury bills and bonds is 30%. The rest can be spread in other vehicles. So it is for that reason that that has happened. So last year's rate of 12% is as a result of us having invested in vehicles that gave us a higher yield, and also for the fact that there was a more prudent investment. We were able to, for example, invest at the stock exchange, which was on a bullish run, and that gave us that kind of a yield. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There is an additional question from our member, Mr. Lerionka. He's asking that will previous minutes be shared to members in emails? Mr. James Lerionka is asking whether or not previous minutes will be shared to members through emails. Being told that they were already shared. The minutes were already shared. So I'm not seeing any more questions here. Okay.
Should be 30 days. Let us not have 30 days, which turns to be 6 months, because some of these retirees, they have persevered here, or they arrive is here. So once they retire, they want their money. So Kai, please, once a claim is in your desk, you don't have to take 30 days. Just even 1 week is enough for these retirees, we ask.
Okay. Can Kai respond, or I can respond to the members? Okay, let Kai respond.
Thank you. So once I wish to apologize for that if it has happened to a member whose claim we had registered and was fully documented. I may not have all the details about each of the members that this could have happened to, but once a claim is fully documented, the law requires that we pay it within 30 days. We also have an SLA, a service level agreement, with a scheme to be making those payments within 15 days. So the most it can go is 30 days. But my apologies, I don't have the details, but there are various things that can happen that may delay the settlement of a claim. For example, that which I'm mentioning around full documentation, or if there's extra documentation that is required and the member is not able to access them immediately, then that can also lead to that kind of a lag. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bwana George. Now that we have exhausted the questions, we can move to the next stage. And thank you very much for your patience and hearing from me and the board.
Thank you, Trustee Otieno, for guiding us through that session. So in terms of claims, of course, there are some claims that will not be paid within 30 days because of their unique matter. There are matters where we need to do due diligence to find some items. But if a claim has no issue, then it should be paid within the 30 days. But we have said there are claims that have issues where now we have to find the real beneficiaries and so on. So those ones, sometimes they delay. But the period based on the service level agreement with the Kenya Alliance is supposed to be 30 days. But I agree with what Muindi said. You don't need to wait for 30 days. If it is paid within 1 week, the better for our members.
Just for the record, sometimes also delays occur, and I think this one someone needs to report to the management. I'm happy that Professor, you are holding two cups. You are wearing 2 cups here. Sometimes somebody retires and the management has not remitted the money to KAI. And then we realize that the money that is there in KAI that can be paid to that person cannot buy a meaningful annuity. So we have to push the management, first of all, to remit what is there so that now the money can be paid. So that can also be another cause of delay. So I urge the management to at least, now that we have agreed that in the interim that you pay those who are retiring, please do it before they retire, so that by the time somebody retires, at least all the money is in KAI. Now it can be processed.
So thank you. I think that will be done. So I want to invite the chair to present the budget and also guide the next session of approving the external auditors. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker Mutua. Members, let's turn to our document, the last page. The last page, we have the budget there. We intend to collect about 180 million in terms of remittances, and we are projecting an investment income of about 85 million. Then we think that we might pay about 70 million to those who are retiring. When it comes to expenses, as I've indicated to us, we might have a special general meeting this year to approve policies. So we have budgeted for 1.5 million for the 2 general meetings, that is this one and the one that is coming. RBA levy is about 3 million. Audit and assurance costs, 500,000. And then we have got BOT allowances, 1.8. Then we have got BOT training and development costs, another 1.8. Members training and development, as has been highlighted by Dr. Barbara, we have budgeted for 2 million to train our members. We think this is quite important. Then the processes that we are going through, basically clustered under organizational development, Those reviews of policies and the like, we have budgeted for about 2.5 million. And then personnel and office administration. Last year, you mandated us to employ somebody. Unfortunately, the process took longer than we thought. So we didn't manage to employ a pensions officer, but the process is on course. We intend to employ that person this quarter. So those costs will be around 800,000. Then office equipment, we need to equip that office. We have budgeted for 600,000 shillings. Then I think this has been Dr. George, that we actually mentioned the issue of group life cover last year here during our special general meeting. And we have budgeted for that this year, that we want to buy a group life cover for our members, just in case something happens. I think that cover will cover around between 6 months salary, pensionable salary, to 1 year's pensionable salary. So if that goes through, that is the approximate budget that will cost. And then based on all that, we are thinking that there might be some emergencies or contingencies of about 500,000 shillings. That takes all our expenses to around 16 million. And then we have got around 178 million as a net increase to our members. So basically, members, this is what we intend to spend this year, 16 million. We're still in the limits of RBA guidelines. RBA allows us to spend 2% of our performing fund. Our performing fund is basically the one with KAI and also the one with Jubilee, which is 10.07 billion. Now, if you take 2% of that, it comes around 21.5 million plus. But what we have budgeted for here is actually 1.5% of our fund. So I present this to us. If there is an area that we think we can cut or we don't need, it is your opportunity now to bring up comments. Thank you. And then we have also listed down there the projections. How do we think that this fund will grow by the end of the year? Last year we had projected some growth. We actually overachieved what we had projected. And we are also hoping that, we can be able to achieve more than what we achieved last year. But I'm glad to report to us members that the pension scheme is now functioning the way it should. The fund value is growing, and we hope that when we get here to 2028 March, we'll be speaking a different story. So let's keep on engaging. Engage us, question us. I have seen Lawyer Kipkirui saying in our forum that he has multiplied 20,000 by 12 meetings. Have you seen that? That is not true. Actually, RBA allows us to have a maximum of 12 paid meetings. Okay? 6 whole board and the other 6 for what? For the subcommittees. As a chair, I think, I don't sit in those subcommittees. So he has just multiplied all those meetings, which only belong to a few people, and think that we have spent 2.8 million, which is not true. The chair earns 20,000 shillings, is there in the report, which is taxable. After tax, it comes around 14,000 shillings. And I think I'm allowed a maximum of 6 meetings in a year. And the other members earn 15,000 shillings. After tax, it's 10,500. They are allowed a maximum of 12 meetings because they belong to the other subcommittees. So this is how we operate, and that is what brings us to a maximum budget of 1.8 for this year. Last year we spent around 1.6 or 1.7 thereabout. So we are within the budget, and I think we are also prudent. We are using the remuneration policy that you people passed. That is what basically we are using. But all the documents are under review, so we can look at them when we meet in August. Thank you.
So we need someone to propose, another one to second, and then now you can be able to have questions, if any. Proposed by Patrick Kitavi, seconded by Savio. So any questions regarding the budget?
thank you, BOT, for the very clear budget proposal that you have presented to us. Now, although I've proposed adoption of this budget, I have a bit of concern about the expenses that come to 16 million plus. I was looking at our individual savings, and I did some little arithmetic and discovered that 16 million is what about 4 lecturers have saved in total for the last 15 years. Pension ya walimu waine imeenda in 1 year. In as much as RBA capping is at 2%, and these expenses are at about 1.5% as per the chair BOT, that is something to make us get concerned. And that is why, even earlier, I had asked whether the RBA levy that our pension scheme pays of about 3 million is what other pension schemes pay, or the levy is independent on the size of the pension scheme. I do not think we'll be committing a crime as a BOT, as a scheme, if we spend 1% or 0.99%. Then lastly, a BOT is a legal edit, if I'm right. It can sue, it can be sued. Now, how would you sue one BOT chair, CPIA, if you have not budgeted for legal fees? How would you sue if we are to sue? Because there's a bad trend today of sponsors deliberately. I'm not saying ours is deliberately, but there's a trend, there's a general trend of sponsors, employers failing to remit pension deductions. And at some point, some litigation may be necessary. And the litigation in the court is not a fight. It is necessary sometimes. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question on budget?
Mine is not on the budget, but I can go back to the accounts where it states that you received a donation of $1 million. Can you clarify who gave you the donation? The donation was?
Another question, if there is any?
I just want to clarify, my friend, that the legal whatever is carried is under the RBA levy. Most of these levies you pay for, actually. If you follow the rules and regulations, most of these legal entities are being through the RBA. So I believe that the contingencies is where somewhere there, that 600,000 is where the legal fee should be drawn from.
So I think I can answer what Patrick Itavi, but I think part has been answered by Daktari. So usually we have a regulator, and some of the matters, including the matter of an remitted fund, is a matter that is being handled by RBA. They are following the scheme, and they send demands to employer and the sponsor to ensure at least that is done. Of course, when you are budgeting, you cannot be able to precisely say I will have legal cases amounting to this amount, but that is taken care of by that item indicated contingency expenses of 561. It's now what takes care of those unforeseen things if they happen. So that is taken care of there. On the question of the CBA, the RBA levy, usually the payment of the levy is based on the size of the scheme. And that fund includes even the unremitted fund. So they give guidelines in terms of what should be paid based on the fund value in terms of meeting allowance. So the remuneration policy is based on that. That was approved by the members. The payment of the RBA levy is also based on that size of scheme. So they guide on the percentage. So there are even schemes paying much more than what we are paying based on their fund value. The other question was on the fund, the donation. So we realized the time when we took over, there was no office which was operating, and we thought it was important to have an office which is operational so that members can be able to take their concerns there. That office was not operational, but when you go to the pension office, there is furniture that was received. This donation was not in terms of money, it was in terms of furniture that was acquired by Kenya Alliance in terms of their corporate social responsibility. They donated furniture, the seats when you go there, even the redesign of the office, they did that, and the cost was 1 million. That is the donation. It was not money given to the fund. It was refurbishing the office and also having the furniture. So the only thing now that is remaining is the equipment. And I think some of these costs which we are including here, they are not continuous cost. For example, when you look at organizational development cost, this is the amounts for ensuring that we have policies in place so that our scheme is operational. So those policies, of course, determine a lot of matters that needs to be handled in terms of payment policy. All those items will be taken care of in that. So once we have operational policy, of course, that amount of 2.5 is a one-off cost. The office equipment of 600 is a one-off cost. Once we have the equipment, of course, that is a one-off expenditure that is being incurred. So that we have a scheme that is operational. We have an office that is operational, where you can go get your statement anytime between 8 and 5. Because the work of the trustee, although we are doing full-time job, but we need to have an employee who will be able to serve you in that office between 8 and 5. Because sometimes you can be looking for me or any other trustee, but I'm in class and you need a service. So some of these expenditures are one-off cost. So I believe I have answered all the questions.
Yeah, just a small clarification on the issue of the legal fees. I think also we should note that RBA also has a list of allowable and non-allowable. We are not allowed to budget for everything, really. And one of the costs that RBA really discourages is to use members' money for legal costs. Because, you know, legal costs can run even up to hundreds of millions of shillings. So I don't think that is a budget that really, because even RBA has mechanisms to address disputes that can arise in the pension sector. We have the RBA tribunal, which I think should be free. I don't know, but it's not that costly. So by the time a matter reaches a situation whereby it has to go to the High Court, I don't know, but it's very difficult to encounter such a situation. But if a situation arises whereby we need to incur legal costs, then I guess we'll have to call you members for an SGM so that you approve the expense, because we'll have to call another SGM. But otherwise, RBA really discourages using pensions money for legal costs.
Thank you very much, members, for asking questions, and thank you very much, the board, for answering all questions. And lastly, I need to thank our member, Mr. Kitavi, for proposing the adoption of that budget. Thank you. So second and
members, I think we can move to the next session, where now we have the approval of the auditors' for the financial year 2026. I think this was a question that was asked earlier by Patrick Kitavi in terms of the approval of the auditors. So usually the law allows the scheme auditors to serve a period of 3 years, and you can extend for 2 years. So when we took over, the previous auditors had already served 3 years, so we extended for 2 years. And during the previous AGM, the chair of the board requested members to allow the board to appoint the external auditors. And then now we can be able to approve them during this particular AGM. So that was a request that was made in the previous AGM. And we want to give that opportunity so that now we can be able to approve our auditors, DK Wabua, for the financial year 2026. Thank you.
So there is a question asked online by Daktari Virginia Onyara. My chair will be able to answer.
I have seen the question, how does someone access their money once they retire? I am glad that our pension is working like Chair said, but I don't see that transferable to retirees receiving their money. What is the criteria? I have been asking for my money since 2024, December, until now I am still asking. So in terms of employee separation, there are separations that will come maybe in terms of relocation. And this is a case of Dr. Virginia Onyara, where she was requested to submit some documentation to the board. I don't know whether that has happened, but for you to be paid for case of relocation, they must have evidence. So I think once Dr. Virginia Onyara sends those documentation, I think that should be a matter that will be settled, and she can be able to access the fund. So that was an online question which we have answered. So I want to invite the chair to guide the AGM in terms of the approval of the external auditors.
Members, in the last financial year, we had DK Wambua and Associates as our auditors, and we want to present them to you again to be our auditors this year. Wanataka? Okay, he's saying they have expressed interest. All right, proposed by Gilbert. Anybody seconding? Seconded by Moindi. Thank you. Members approved? Thank you.
So based on our program, we are supposed to have remarks by RBA representatives. They were officially invited and notified, but they have not communicated. Maybe they were. So the next thing is, I don't know whether we have questions, because that was now where it was scheduled for questions and answers. So I don't know whether we have a member who has a burning question. We finalize so that we invite, yes.
My statement as at 31st December 2025, and I believe it will capture the following: the balance carried forward, my contributions, and the interest are that 12%. Whether it's through those columns or whether the taxable and not taxable, both employer and employee. I'm saying this because what you posted was just an entry fee and all that. And by the way, last week you posted it. My balance was 5.3 million. The following week it changed to 5.5 because something trickled in, I don't know from where. So I cannot agree because what I have on the portal is at maybe today, April, from Kenya Alliance, which is okay, but there's no interest applied as of now. I know what my interest is at that particular time. Thank you. That's my plea.
Thank you, Daktari. I think we have a portal. Once you open that portal, you can be able to see all your transactions. So as a finance and audit committee, we raised issues with Kenya Alliance. We gave them what we need to see in that portal so that members can be able to see more in terms of the fund being separated with the interest. That is something that we have given them, and they are developing the system better. But once you open the portal, you can be able to see details of your contribution. But now the only problem is that they are putting your contribution and the sponsor together with the interest. But we have told them to separate. So that is one of the requests that we have given to them, so that as they improve the portal, you can be able to see this was your contribution, this is the interest that has been earned, this is the interest that will not earn tax during the period. So we gave them that as part of what we expect they improve on that particular portal. They can answer there here.
That is an issue that you can follow maybe individually.
Okay, this is for the benefit of the members here, besides Daktari that has made the question. Once we make a public declaration of interest, it is applied. So I think, Daktari, if at all there is any unique thing that is happening to a statement, or if at all maybe the figures are not consistent, as he could be saying, then it is something that we need to look at. But we applied that rate, unless any other member has the same issue. Thank you.
So I think members, if there is a member who has an issue, you can be able to raise that with the board. And again, it is also important, members, once you log in into that portal, it is important also you put your beneficiaries for that fund. It becomes very difficult when maybe we lose a member and that member has not indicated the beneficiaries in that portal. So it has a place where you can be able to give details of all your beneficiaries so that the work of the trustee becomes a bit bearable. So we have a question from Osano, SD.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to all of you. First, my apologies. I thought I would be here earlier, but I got held up with some other family matters. So the question is on behalf of retired members. Some of them called me yesterday and the other day previously. They knew there is an AGM, and they say that I should put this to the BOT on behalf of them. And the question goes to the management. They are wondering why their interests have not been paid, particularly those people who left around 2019 going backwards. I think this has been an intractable issue. I'm just conveying, and they are saying that it looks like even the little that has been paid, there's still some pending. Like a member was recently paid about 200 and something, 250,000, but they are saying they are still owed close to $1 million. So they really don't know what is happening. And that is the question they want to find out, because they are suffering. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, SG. I think we have unremitted interest that has not been paid. But whenever we have interest for the fund that is already with our fund managers, we usually make payment for that interest. Like now there are members who retired in January. So you might find the money that was with the fund manager, after declaring the interest, they still have some money. So what was being paid was the money that were with the fund manager arising from the interest. Once we check the portal, we are able to know members who have retired and they have money there. So the only portion that has not been paid is the portion that is with the sponsor. And we had said that we have organized for a meeting. We have computed, we have data. We have computed that for all people who left the scheme. And we want to have a meeting with the sponsor so that we finalize on the interest on members who left service. It is something that has delayed. It is something that, of course, members keep on asking. But I had said earlier, we could not be able to compute that because we needed data from Jubilee, how much they were paid, when, so that we can now be able to run the interest. The rest of the data we had, but the payment we were not having. But that was shared to us in March this year. And we are now computing for all the people who left the scheme so that they can be settled once we agree with the sponsor. But I think message is it's home, and we are working to ensure that is fully settled members.
Just briefly, thanks for that explanation. But I think the problem here is not the calculation of the interest rates or the interest that is owing. It is the lack of the recognition by the employer on the interest. And that is a very big problem that the BOT must take up immediately and inform members, because in the books of the sponsor, the unremitted amount stands at 708 million. And there is a pending bills committee established by the government of Kenya where we've been requested to send all these liabilities that are outstanding to the government for consideration. Probably we may be paid or not, we don't know. What has been sent there is 708 million. So the sponsor does not recognize that she owes the scheme over 400 million in interest, and that is a big problem. Supposing tomorrow the government decides and bails us out and pays the 708 million, then we are in a problem. Where will we get the 400 million, the balance of the 400 million? So that is a big issue, and unless that amount of interest is also reported by the sponsor as part of the liabilities that are pending and unremitted in terms of unremitted pensions, then we have a problem. So there's a very big problem with the sponsors, not only non-remittance, but failure to recognize that she owes the principal as well as the interest that is outstanding. Thank you.
So, yeah, I think on the issue of the sponsor recognizing or not recognizing, I don't think the sponsor has any choice really, because that is the law. So that interest is accruing and is payable. I don't think the sponsor has enough. Maybe the only thing that has not been agreed is on the amount. We need now to sit down with the sponsor and agree on the amount, which already we have. It's only that now we have not formally communicated. But otherwise, the sponsor has no choice. It is the law, and that interest must be paid. In fact, it must be paid including penalties, but we are not asking for penalties. We are only asking for interest alone. So that one, the sponsor has no choice. I got a point that SG Osano said. He also talked about it's possible that even the monies that have been paid in the name of principle might not be everything. I think you alluded to that, isn't it? Which I agree. Because according to the sponsor, they believe that maybe the amount owing is starting from, is it February 2017 to sometime in 2024. But we have members who left the scheme in 2015 who are actually being owed by the sponsor. So I believe there is also a portion of principle that is not usually being calculated, because I think when we were doing the data verification, we actually discovered that the problem of non-remittance may have begun as early as 2013. Okay, they were remitting, but not every month. Maybe they were remitting this month, the following month they skip. So there are gaps from 2013. So even this principle that the sponsor usually pays, it might not be all the amount that is owing in terms of the principal. There could be some other amounts relating to from 2013 to 2016 that is still unpaid. And that is why we have people who left the scheme in 2015 who are still being owed by the sponsor. So this talk of interest might not be very accurate. We just need to talk about the sponsor owes both interest and maybe a portion of the principal. Yeah, thank you.
Maybe right on the same, we have some big cases where we have calculated the interest for
retirees, and the sponsor has paid. So basically, there is that recognition. There is no way out about it. Thank you.
So thank you. I want to confirm we have one member who has already been paid the interest, and we are also pushing for the rest to be paid. It's unfortunate, but these are historical issues, but we are really on them. So I don't think we have any other. And again, we as union, we also met the University Council and we agreed that when people are retiring from 2026, they should be paid all their money. And all those who have interest that has not been paid, we compute, give it to the sponsor for payment. And that is why we are requesting for a meeting so that we can be able to have that deliberations for those who left the scheme can be paid.
I think as a BOT, we cannot afford to be unsure of when members are owed money by the sponsor. We cannot be talking of 2013 or 2015. We can't afford to be unsure. That is why you are in office. Then secondly, I want to correct Trustee Makiche. Please don't say the sponsor has no choice. The sponsor has a choice. A choice of saying there's no money. So don't say that. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick Itavi. I think I want to correct impression. We have not said that we are not sure. We have data of every member here. How much they have contributed when from 2008 up to 2011. All your contributions are there. From 2012, when the scheme was operational, to date, we have data of every member here. So the board has that data for every member. So we are very sure of what we are saying.
I still insist that the sponsor has no choice, because even in other schemes where the sponsor has failed to remit, if there is no money, then they surrender some assets to the scheme. So you don't have money, fine. Then what else do you have? So maybe that is the direction that the discussion will have to take. So otherwise, the idea that there is no money, that one is not an answer. That money must be paid, or maybe some assets surrendered.
So thank you, thank you, members. I want to invite Dr. Barbara Dhoki, who will now be able to give a vote of thanks and closure of this AGM. So thank you, members, for attending physically and online. We appreciate you as we make this scheme fully working. Thank you. So you have been informed that you will collect your allowance from George. So once you collect, you can now be able to get it. Those who are online, I think we will have our office will be opened on Monday. You can also be able to collect it from the pension office on Monday. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we had already adopted some it's only, I think, the chair's report and the fund administrator's report. I think maybe we need someone to propose, another one to second, as part of the adoption of those documents. Charity proposes, Donata seconds. Thank you. And thank you, Canon Wali, for that.
Okay, thank you. Allow me to move a vote of thanks. And to start with, we really thank God for this day that we have gathered here in matters of our pension, and the reports that we have gotten. To a great extent, the pension is moving forward, and we believe it will become better even as we go ahead. We thank our employer even for the opportunity to serve in this university, which has helped us to gather together as pensioners. And being the sponsor, we also believe that through the partnership that we have, we'll be able to put everything that needs to be put together into the scheme so that our members can go home in dignity. Thank you very much, members. You've been very patient. Those that are here physically, without you, this would not have been possible. We also have members who are online and they have participated and they have been very keen. We don't take that for granted. Even sending an apology and saying that you are not able to come, that is also recognized as one who is really keen on the matters of this pension. We agree that without our fund managers, we cannot be able to move forward. We thank Kenyan Alliance for this far that we have worked with them. We have been 1 year, in this, and I must say that they have been very cooperative, and we have managed to do good work with them. We thank our new auditors for the work that they have done this time, and we believe even going forward, we'll partner in the similar good way. RBA has been absent today, but still they are our regulators, and we also work with them in this journey, and I'm sure wherever they are, we appreciate them. Thank you very much, our service providers. You have done a good job. You can see that this time we have tried even to stream using our professionals over there, and we thank you for this that you have done. We also have the other team that was doing the logistics. You have heard we have even the accountant, our accountant, and those that were on the registration desk, and all people that took part to make this a success. We really, really thank you. My colleagues who are BOT members, we have worked tirelessly around the clock. Actually, when we joined, we thought some of us, like myself, this was work that is light, but it is very heavy. But the dedication in the BOT and the cohesiveness, we even don't say we are from sponsor or where, we work together very well. I want to thank you. Thank you, our chair, for leading us very well. Our chair is very professional. We are also learning a lot from him. And we thank you for guiding us very well. So members, allow me to stop at that, and I hope even going forward, you are open to come and see us wherever there are concerns, and we will take this scheme to the next level. Asanteni sana. If you will, thank you. You could clap. I don't mind the clap. If you don't mind, we can honor God by standing and having the final prayer. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Chairman, for giving me this opportunity to say hi to the members. Good evening, all members. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to serve you. and I think the report is read, and you are able to evaluate us. Thank you so much.
Good evening, fellow pensioners. Yes, I also want to thank you all for the way that you have been keen for today and across the days. There is so much that we need to do, and we have to insist on ourselves that we must stick together, that we must hold together to be able to achieve what we need to achieve. I was meant to be the MC for the day. I subcontracted that to Mutua because I was sorting out something at the Innovations Week with the students. So asanteni sana, the Lord bless you.
Thank you, members. Let's bow our heads for a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we bow before you this evening with a lot of thanksgiving in our hearts. We started with you, and you have been with us. You've guided us. You have given us the way forward. We have had reports, and we give you all the glory and honor. The employees of Multimedia University are not here just by fluke, but you have gathered us to work here, Lord God, for your glory and honor. And we pray for a blessing over this university. We pray for the management. We pray for the employees. We pray even for our students, Lord, that have made us to work in this place. And we pray that you will prosper Multimedia University. Wherever there are challenges, Heavenly Father, financial challenges, and every other form of challenge, we present it before you because we know silver and gold belongs to you. You own cows on 1,000 hills, and there's nothing difficult for you. Even the remittances that have not been made, we pray that, Lord, you'll make a way even for such. Thank you for our members that are present here, even those that were online, and all the others that gave apologies, even those that forgot. We commit them unto you. May you give them good health, Heavenly Father. May you give them financial management, King of Kings, so that when they are done in working in this place, they will retire in a manner, Lord, that is worthy of your praise. Thank you for their families. Thank you, Lord, for the work of their hands. May they be blessed by you. Heavenly Father, even the team that is leading this scheme, the partners, all of them, we commit them unto you. Bless us, Lord, because you have promised us that in your word. And now, Lord, as we finalize the AGM of this year, we thank you, Lord, and we pray that you'll enable us to meet here even another time. And when that is done, Heavenly Father, we shall be careful to thank you. We give you all the glory, Lord, and we give you all the honor. And whenever, Lord, we may not have done the right thing, we pray that you may forgive us. Fill us with your wisdom. Fill us with your mercy. Fill us with your goodness, because we are your children. We pray this, believing and trusting in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen. Thank you, members.